It's my 5th Curliversary! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as I said, it is my 5th Curliversary, so that means I have been on my healthy curl journey for 5 years. 5 years! I mean, the time has flown, but also, on the other hand, it feels like it's been even longer than that because I can't remember a time when curly hair wasn't as important to me as it is now. Now I know that sounds a bit insane to say that curly hair is important to me, but it is because it has become a big part of my life. It has become my job, and it has also just really, opened up so much to me. But it's not all just been about hair. So kind of learning to love and accept my hair, so my curls and also my natural colour, which is a slightly shorter. I'm not fully 5 years yet on that. But those things have been steps towards just general self-acceptance. So one of my followers on Instagram suggested that I do a video about the main things that I've learned on my 5-year journey. So that's what we're going to do today. So the first thing I want to talk about that I have learned on my curly journey so far is that curly and wavy hair is not a one size fits all. So when I first started, I was very strictly following the Curly Girl method, and I got a lot of my information from a couple of Facebook groups, and they were excellent resources. And I am still members of those groups, and I still think that they're excellent, and I have a lot of respect for the admins and the regular members in those groups who, just out of the goodness of their heart, try and help people to learn about their hair. I learned so much in those groups. But obviously, because it's a group situation, they have to be super strict and have rules. And when I first started my journey, I very much got really into that and felt like you have to follow the Curly Girl method to the letter, co-washing only, no drying alcohols, no waxes, never a silicone, never a sulfate. And I was fully mentally invested in that being the only way to have good curly hair for a good couple of years. About 18 months into my curly journey, I started my Instagram page. Soon realised that there was this whole curly community, a lot of whom follow the Curly Girl method and a lot of whom didn't. And they still had amazing curly hair. It took a little bit of time for me to kind of get my head around that, but I have realised that there is just not one size fits all. And the Curly Girl method I still believe is an excellent place to start, but I don't follow the Curly Girl method anymore because I do use a sulfate-free shampoo, and I 100% feel that my hair needs that. And also, if I was to once or twice use something that wasn't Curly Girl approved, that maybe had a wax or drying alcohol or something, I wouldn't freak out because I understand what I need to do to sort of sort that out. And there's a lot of curly girls who use silicones and sulfates regularly and they have no issues. For example, Sophie Marie Curly on Instagram, she's just lovely. She makes amazing content if you're not following her there already. I think she may have a YouTube channel as well, so if she does, I will link them both in the description. But she is completely happy to use sulfates and silicones, and her hair is stunning. So clearly it's not a case of one size fits all. So if you're very stuck in your mindset of I have to follow these rules, and you're actually not getting anywhere, you've given it a good try, a few months, and you're not making any progress, then maybe reassess, and you might find that some tweaks to those rules works better for you. The second thing I want to talk about that I have learned over my curly journey is simplicity is almost always best. So now, this is not me judging anybody for having a complicated 10-step routine. However, I will say that for most people, a simple routine is actually better. It's actually going to get you better results. It's going to be more sustainable, and also if something goes wrong, it's much easier to pinpoint what's wrong with a simple routine than it is with a really complicated routine. If you're just starting out, think simple. Think cleanser, so a co-wash or a shampoo, a conditioner, and 1 or 2 stylers, and that's it. That's all you need. And even if you see me doing a wash day with lots of different products, or your favorite curly girl doing a super complicated routine, it doesn't mean that you have to. It doesn't mean it's going to be beneficial to you to complicate what you're doing. Once you have some experience, you might find that you can tweak things and you can do a longer, more complicated routine and get great results. But even for experienced curlies, sometimes if you're in a slump, your hair's in a slump, the best thing to do is to just take it right back to basics. So keeping things simple really can be key. The third thing I want to talk about is something that is not really a fun one, and it's not what anybody wants to hear, especially if they're starting out on their journey. But the biggest thing you need on a curly hair journey is patience and time. So a lot of the issues that we have at the beginning of our curly journeys, if it's frizz or if it's curls not clumping, perhaps it's limp hair, all of those things, obviously they need a change. They need, you know, to stop using the high heat, to change up your products to curl friendly ones. But you might do all of those, make all those changes and still feel like your hair is not clumping and it's really frizzy. And so that's where the patience and the time element comes in. You're doing the right things, now you just have to give it time. So the fourth point I want to talk about is the fact that what works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me. So what I mean by that is I can use certain products and have insanely good results and absolutely love those results, and then you may go purchase those products, try them, and your hair just hates them. And vice versa, somebody who I follow might have amazing results and then I try those products and my hair is an absolute nightmare with them. So there is no sort of guarantee that just because you see someone have good results that means you're going to have those results. And it can be frustrating, especially if you spend a lot of money. It is good to start out with less expensive products while you get the hang of things, so you're not wasting a lot of money on products that might not work for you. And then once you know your hair a bit better, it can be a little bit easier. It's not foolproof, but it can be easier to make those decisions and think, well, that product's probably going to work for me. But just on that, if you do buy a product and it absolutely is not working for you and you can't return it, shelve it. Don't get rid of it just yet. Just pop it on the shelf, because in 6 months' time, perhaps it's a different season or your hair needs change. Try it again and you might be absolutely shocked. I've had that happen with so many products. For example, the Giovanni LA Hold Gel. It's one of my favourite gels, but I go through stages where it absolutely is horrendous in my hair. But I know that my hair will come back round to it again. And I haven't even pinpointed what it is that changes. But I just know that my hair goes through stages of loving it and then hating it. So it goes back on the shelf and then I leave it a few months and then try it again. And the last thing that I have learned, which I think is really important, but it's not always that easy, is to try and learn to love your hair, your curls, your texture, because it's normal to see other people's hair, especially on social media, or maybe it's someone in your real life and you think, oh, they are my hair goals. We all have those, right? But it's the case that your hair is never going to become their hair. Your hair is going to become the best version of your hair. And if we keep healthy hair as the goal, I know that's easy to say for me now, being 5 years in, but if we keep healthy hair as the goal, then having that little sort of mindset shift rather than my goal is that person's hair, then we're not going to be disappointed if our hair doesn't turn into what that person's hair is. We're just going to be pleased with the changes that our hair is making, and having the healthiest and the best version of your hair, if you make yourself your own curl goals, it avoids disappointment and also just brings about that self-acceptance and self-love, which the healthy hair journey can really accomplish. So those are a few things that came to mind when I was thinking about what have I learned on my 5-year journey so far, and it will be interesting to see what I think in another 5 years. Like here, hopefully I'm still on YouTube and I can do an update in 5 years time and tell you what I've learned in the second lot of 5 years, and I wonder if my hair will look any different. I really wonder. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your biggest curl insights are in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and please do subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. Bye.